Hi and welcome to another Stacks video tutorial. This time we're going to have a look at how to set up your Facebook account so it can access the Facebook developers settings, and once we've done that we're going to have a look at getting the details you need from Facebook to enter into Stacks and vice versa so you can publish the application on Facebook itself. So here I've logged into my Facebook account and I'm going to go to the developers page on Facebook, and I do that by going to developers.facebook.com and clicking go. Once the developers page is loaded, there'll be an option on the right hand side that says register now, so click on the green button and it will present you with some information that you'll want to read, and also terms and conditions at the bottom. Just put I accept, tick in the box there and then click continue. Beyond that, Facebook would like to get a bit more information as to what you're going to be doing app wise. So what's your role, what type of app is it, who's the target audience. Now you don't have to fill this information in, so what I'm going to do is go down to the bottom and click on skip so we can move along a little quicker. And there you go, congratulations, you're now a Facebook developer. Okay, so the next thing we're going to want to do is create a new app. So this is like a placeholder for our Stacks app to sit. So the first question is, what do I want to call it? I'm going to call it Test App Mo. So I'm going to type that in the name field. And then it's going to ask me for a namespace. Now the distinction between the app name and the namespace is fairly straightforward. The app name is the public display name for the app. So say if you were to publish the application in the Facebook apps directory, then the application would be listed under the app name. The namespace is where your application is going to sit within the Facebook ecosystem. So many of us will have seen the apps.facebook.com URLs before, which is the link to the application in Facebook. With the namespace being Test App Moses, my URL would be apps.facebook.com/testappmoses. So I'm going to go ahead and click on continue, and what we'll find is I'll be presented with a message that says the app can't be created because I'm not a verified user yet. Verification is fairly straightforward. You can either do it through an SMS text to your mobile phone number and you enter the response code, or you can add your credit card details. So I'm going to go ahead and use the mobile method, and in a second I'll get a code through on my mobile phone. Once the code's come through, all I need to do is enter that code into the verification box and then click confirm. Okay, and there we go, that's the account verified. Now if I just OK that message and go through the create new app process again, so I'm going to quickly enter in Test App Mo, and then in the namespace I'm also going to put in Test App Mo. Now because so many people are using Facebook now and there's so many applications, you might have to try a couple of different namespaces till you find one that's available. So you see if I've put in 1, that's taken, 55, that's taken. So I'm going to put in something reasonably random, there you go, and that's available. So I'm going to click continue. And then finally fill out the captcha just so Facebook knows I'm not a machine, and then that's all there is to creating the app. So I'm taken now to the Test App Mo settings page. Now once we hit the application settings page, there's a couple of bits of information which are really pertinent. The first one is the app ID in the box at the top. This is a number that uniquely identifies this application on Facebook, so no other application should have that ID. The second piece of information is the app secret. This is a code that verifies requests are coming from your application when you're getting information or putting information onto Facebook through the application. Now you need to keep this app secret a secret. Only you or your developer should know about it, because it's how Facebook verifies that requests or posts for information are authentic. The final bit of information that we have from the initial box is the bullet point that says this app is in sandbox mode. Now when an application is in a sandbox mode, only certain people can access it. So in the context of Facebook, that's people who have the administrator role, developer role, or tester role for your application. But we'll cover this slightly later on. The next step in the process is to actually wire up the integration between Stacks application and Facebook itself. So the first thing we're going to need to do is provide Stacks with the application ID and secret. So I'm going to right click and copy the app ID, and then in the Stacks platform itself, I'm going to go to the Publish menu, and then I'm going to go to the Publish Manager. Now, I originally published my application to this Solly2 build point. I'm going to click on Edit, and as you can see, we've got a form that asks for various bits of Facebook information. So I'm going to click in the API key field, and I'm going to paste in the app ID from Facebook. And the second thing I'm going to do is grab the app secret from Facebook and paste that into the secret field in Stacks. Switching back to the Facebook app settings for a moment, you'll see under the basic info settings that there's a field called app domains. In order for Facebook to run your application on their platform, you need to specify a domain that the application is going to run from. That way it provides an extra layer of security to say, yes, the request is coming from this domain, we're going to allow it. Now for Stacks applications at the moment, type in palmtreestacks.com. That way the request that comes from the Stacks platform will show up as coming from palmtreestacks.com on Facebook's end. Facebook will go, sure, that's not a problem. The next piece of information that I'm going to need is the Canvas page URL for the Facebook app. So I'm going to go down to the section that says app on Facebook, and at the moment you'll see that the tick field is grayed out, or it has nothing in there. When I click on it, that'll turn green, and that shows me that I've now activated the app on Facebook option for this particular app. When the field expands, you'll see that at the top there's a Canvas page URL. So that's the apps.facebook.com/testappmogroup. So I'm going to double click on that, and I'm going to copy it. And then I'm going to go back over to my publish settings on Stacks, and I'm going to paste that into the frame parent option. The final piece of information that we need to provide to the Stacks platform is the page profile ID for the page that the app's going to run in. This is for things like the page tab integration. So in order to find that piece of information, what I actually need to do is go to the page that I'm going to be running the application on. So here you can see I've got my test app page, and in the URL at the top, the final piece of information just after the slash is the page ID. So that's the number starting 1443306. I'm just going to highlight it and copy that bit of information, and then I'm going to take it back over to the Stacks platform, and I'm going to paste it in the page profile ID field and then click save. And there we go, it said that it's updated my details for me, so I'm going to click on OK. So that's all the information that we need to put into the Stacks application. Now it's the turn of Facebook. What we need to do is provide Facebook with two URLs as to where on the internet our application is hosted. The URLs are the same, it's just one is HTTP and the other is HTTPS. Now in order to find the URL, what you need to do is make sure that you've published your application, and then go into the Publish Manager with the application loaded and click on the Details button. Now a pop-up box will appear saying Facebook Developer Settings, and the URL at the very bottom of the message is where on the internet your application is. So I'm going to highlight that information, and I'm going to use the keyboard shortcut to copy that. Once that's in the clipboard, I can then go back to Facebook and I can paste it into the Canvas URL fields. So I've got the same URL in each field, and I'm just going to remove the S from the HTTPS in the Canvas URL. So as you can see, Canvas URL is the HTTP and Secure Canvas URL is the HTTPS version. Now all I need to do is click save, and then Facebook will make those changes to their platform, and within a couple of seconds typically the application will now be available on Facebook. Because the app is still in the sandbox mode, that means it's only available to that limited group of individuals, which is great for testing. So talking about testing, let's go ahead and load the application in a tab. So I'm going to go down to the Canvas page URL, I'm going to right click and open in a new tab. And after a few seconds, Facebook will load, and it will load with our Stacks application in the Facebook environment. And there we go, there's my rather boring app of a cityscape with my test app as a title. Now, if I want to remove the application from the sandbox environment, so if I want to make the application live to world plus dog, all I need to do is move the radio button in the sandbox line from enabled to disabled, and then go down and click Save Changes. As soon as that's done, you'll see the bullet point at the top change to green, and it will tell you that this app is live, so it's visible to all users. Whilst we're on the topic of the sandbox feature, let's have a quick look at how you can add additional people to your application environment so they can access them while still in the sandbox. Now, in order to do this, it's fairly straightforward. All you need to do is go to the Developers Roles option in the left-hand menu, and you'll be presented with a number of different role types and options to add people. Now, in order to add a person as a particular role on Facebook, you need to be their friends on Facebook beforehand. So if I go to the, say, developers role, I'm going to add somebody that I know as a developer. I'm going to click add, and then I'm just going to type in their name as they appear on Facebook. There we go, there's Ronnie. And I'm going to click on that and click submit. Now, once I've done that, what will happen is Ronnie will receive a Facebook notification for a developer request. In order for her to become a developer, she just needs to click on that request and say, yes, I accept. And as you can see on the screen at the moment, under developers, because I've just added her, it says Ronnie, and then it says pending in brackets. Once she's accepted the developer request, that pending will disappear, and she'll then be able to access the application whilst it's in the sandbox mode. And essentially that's